Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah said, all the deeds of Adam's son are for them, except fasting, which is for me, and I will give the reward of it. Fasting is a shield or protection from the fire and from committing sins. If one of you is fasting, he should avoid sexual relation with his wife and quarreling. And if somebody fight or quarrel with him, he should say, I am fasting. By him in whose hand my soul is. The unpleasant smell coming out from the mouth of fasting person is better in the sight of Allah than the smell of musk. There are two prayers for the fasting person, one at the time of breaking his fast, and the other at the time when he will meet his Lord. Then he will be pleased because of his fasting. Narrated Alkama. While I was walking with Abdullah, he said, we were in the company of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, he who can afford to marry should marry, because it will help him refrain from looking at other women and save his private part from looking at other women and save his private part from committing illegal sexual relation. And he who cannot afford to marry is advised to fast, as fasting will diminish his sexual power. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar, Allah Apostle mentioned Ramadan and said, do not fast unless you see the crescent of Ramadan, and do not give up fasting till you see the crescent of Shawwal. But if the sky is overcast, means if you can't see it, then act on estimation, means count Shaban as 30 days. Narrated Ibn Umar, the Prophet ﷺ said, the month is like this and this. Means at the same time he showed the finger of both his hand thrice and left out one thumb on the third time. Narrated Anas, Allah Apostle vowed to keep aloof from his wives for 1 month, and he has dislocation of his leg. So he stayed in the mashruba for 29 nights and then came down. Some people said, O Allah Apostle, you vowed to stay aloof for 1 month. He replied, the month is of 29 days. Narrated Abu Bakr, the Prophet said, the 2 months, Ramadan and Dhul Hijjah, do not decrease in superiority. Narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet said, none of you should fast a day or 2 days before the month of Ramadan unless he has the habit of fasting. And if his fasting coincides with that day, then he can fast that day. Narrated Al-Bara, it was the custom among the companies of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if any of them was fasting and the food was presented for breaking his fast, but he slept before eating, he would not eat that night and the following day till sunset. Qais bin Sirma al-Ansari was fasting and came to his wife at the time of iftar and asked her whether she had anything to eat. She replied, no, but I would go and bring some for you. He used to do hard work during the day, so he was overwhelmed by sleep and slept. When his wife came and saw him, he said, disappointment for you. When it was midday on the following day, he fainted, and the Prophet ﷺ was informed about the whole matter, and the following verses were revealed. You are permitted to go to your wives at the night of fasting. So they were overjoyed by it And then Allah also revealed, eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appear to you, distinct from the black thread. Narrated Aisha, Bilal used to pronounce the Adhan at night, so Allah Apostle said, carry on taking your meals till Ibn Maktoum pronounces the Adhan, for he does not pronounce it till it is dawn. Narrated Sahal bin Saad, I used to take my Sahar meals with my family and then hurry up for presenting myself for the Fajr prayer with the Allah Apostle. Narrated Anas, Zaid bin Sabit said, we took the Sahar with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he stood for the prayer. I asked, what was the interval between the Sahar and the Adhan? He replied, the interval was sufficient to recite 50 verses of the Quran. Narrated Abdullah, the Prophet ﷺ fasted for days continuously. The people also did the same, but it was difficult for them. So the Prophet ﷺ forbade them. They slid, but to fast without break. The Prophet ﷺ replied, I am not like you, for I am provided with the food and drink by Allah. Narrated Anas bin Malik. The Prophet ﷺ said, take Sahri, as there is a blessing in it. Narrated Salma bin Al-Aqwa. Once the Prophet ﷺ ordered a person on Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, to announce, whoever has eaten should not eat any more but fast, and who has not eaten should not eat, but complete his fast till the end of the Narrated Hashim's father, Aisha Razillah Anha said, Allah Apostle used to kiss some of his wives while he was fasting. And then she smiled. Narrated Abu Bakr bin Abdul Rahman, my father and I went to Aisha Razillah Anha and she said, I testify that Allah Apostle at times used to get up in the morning in a state of janaba from sexual intercourse, not from a wet dream, and then he would fast that day. Then he went to Miss Salma and she also narrated a similar thing. Narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet ﷺ said, if someone eats or drinks forgetfully, then he should complete his fast. For what he has eaten or drunk has been given to him by Allah.